to honest evaluation. We need to wonder and we need to ask, is something different happening in worship? A survey was given among sinners and people who did not attend church. And the question was asked, why don't people attend church? Their responses were many, from they are too traditional to the preacher's out of touch. But one response did grab my attention, and that response was, nothing out of the ordinary happens in church. I immediately began to ask myself, what are these people really trying to say? And what message should the 21st century church receive from nothing out of the ordinary happens in church?
Go ahead, Pastor.
Could their message have been, we know everything that will happen on Sunday? We know that at a certain time the choir will sing the same songs they sung 2 weeks ago. Could they have been saying, we know that the people who shouted during the music will sleep or walk during the sermon? Could they have been saying, we know the preacher will preach, and at 12:30 people will be there looking at their watches because it's time to go? Nothing, they said, out of the ordinary happens in church. I submit to you this morning that the average church, the average Sunday morning worship, people come and they hear good music, they come and they hear a good song, they hear a good sermon, and they leave with an emotional thrill, but they do not leave changed. So people come to worship. Are you with me? So people come with a good feeling, but yet something was still missing. People leave most of our churches thinking nothing out of the ordinary happened. The problem is that so often that the Jesus we sing about and the Jesus we preach about is not present in our worship. Our text would suggest that when Jesus is present in worship, something out of the ordinary happens. Now, what is out of the ordinary? I'm glad you asked. Out of the ordinary is not necessarily folk jumping or folk shouting or folk taking victory laps. Out of the ordinary simply is lives are changed, people and relationships are restored, and our joy is made complete. People leave our worship experience knowing with assurance that they